Hello and welcome to this very special episode for the Hive Academy. So we have Rebecca Hopwood in from
Youbee Media.
Youbee Media, and she's got something exciting to talk to us about. So, first of all, introduce yourself, who you are, tell us about Youbee Media, and what you're here for today.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Michael. So, yes, I'm the founder of Youbee Media. We're a marketing agency based in Leeds, and we help businesses to grow with social media and to become more confident throughout all their marketing communications. One of the things that is quite a big part of what we do is training and workshops. So I lead and deliver lots of workshops to start-up businesses, new businesses, people who are looking to upskill their marketing across various different things, and hopefully empower them to become more confident.
Perfect. Well, tell us a little bit about what you've done recently. So, obviously not going into the Hive Academy just yet, but you've had the Pride Awards that you've just been a part of. So tell us about that. How did that go?
Amazing, yeah. So we were quite a big part in the first ever Pride in Pride in Diversity Awards that were in Leeds, and it was a true celebration of everything that's diverse about where we live, which was brilliant. So it was regardless of race, religion, background, ethnicity, and neurodiversity, and we brought people together to celebrate the amazing things that they're doing in their communities. So we had individuals there that were volunteering and giving their time selflessly and helping the homeless and those in need, as well as organisations that are really trying to change things for employees and teams and make everywhere more inclusive. So it was fantastic to be able to bring that event to life, and we supported all the marketing and the branding on that. So really pleased to know it be coming back next year as well.
Amazing. Well, let's talk about the Hive Academy.
Yep.
So this is what you're here to talk about today. Why now? Why did you create the Hive Academy? And tell us a little bit about what it is that you're wanting to do with the Hive Academy.
Yeah, sure. So I think really, the last sort of 2.5, 3 years, so like I said, I've been delivering workshops for businesses at various different stages. And those...
I feel like that's your bread and butter, though. That's what you enjoyed, that part of it, because... Well, you're very chatty anyway, as you can tell.
Oh, really?
But I feel that connecting with people and helping them learn a new skill or learn something new that you've done for years that can get them to the next step of their careers, the next step of where they're wanting to go. I feel that that's your bread and butter. Yeah,
and I love it. I didn't think I'd love it as much as what I do. I think like everybody, and for you, what you do, and for anyone, you're in the do and you're doing it and you feel quite comfortable. But until you go out and you speak to other people, you don't realise how things are maybe missing or not quite where they need to be. And even this week, I was delivering a workshop in Leeds, and it was on the foundations of Meta. So we were talking about setting up on Facebook and Instagram, best practices, optimizing your bio, things like that. And a lady came up to me and she was like, I feel like I've missed a step. And I was like, okay, well, it's the foundations, ask questions. And she's like, I've got Instagram, but I don't think I'm a business. And I'm on Facebook, but I'm not a business on Facebook. And I was like, right, okay. And this is why I still do workshops. And I think it's so important to give people everything from that very early foundation stage right through to becoming more confident and growing and finding your audiences and influencers, because there's still a lot of people that just don't know how to get started. And I think part of the challenge is you just don't know who to ask those questions to, and you don't know what you don't know, so you feel like everybody else is doing something that you're in the dark about. So I think I love being able to deliver things in a way that then people just put their hand up and feel like it's a silly question, but I go, oh no, let's talk through it, and then they'll go, thank you, that's exactly what I needed, and now I can go and do it.
There aren't any silly questions. There's just people who they don't want to because they think it's a silly question, but then when someone's answered that question, they go, I wanted to know the answer to that, but I just didn't want to.
Exactly.
That's the perfect thing with that. So that's a good segue then into the Hive Academy, because that is going to encompass all the learning in the workshops and the stuff that you do onto an online platform.
Yeah.
give us a summary of what the Hive Academy is.
Yeah, sure. So the Hive Academy is a online space where people can learn. So we are going to be creating our first flagship course, which is TikTok for Business, and it's 20 modules long, and it does exactly that. Like, it starts people with the foundations of TikTok for Business. What is it? Who's it for? How to get set up, best practices, and right through to shooting, editing, publishing, using analytics, using influencers, going live, generating rewards, and doing all of these different things. So you can go on that journey to become more empowered. But more than that, because learning and listening and speaking to, hearing somebody talk about things is one part of it, but then to be able to go to a community and ask questions, and that could be us answering it, like our team, or other creators and business owners who then can just help you along the way. So it's a community space as well. You get updates, bulletins, check-in sessions with me. So it's to try and bring some of what I do in workshops online. So then people can access that and learn at their own pace and not feel silly, and also be able to ask questions whenever they need to. So
the first section was TikTok. Mm-hmm. Is that right? So there's going to be others as well. So there's Instagram, is there LinkedIn, Facebook, that sort of thing.
I think that it will probably look different for other platforms. And the reason we've chosen to launch with TikTok as our flagship course is because what I'm seeing in workshops and through the things that we do as a social media agency is how much TikTok influences everything else. So actually, if we were to have launched with a LinkedIn course, you may become very well comfortable with LinkedIn, but then those same practices wouldn't apply on TikTok. Whereas we can take some of the learnings from TikTok to bring it into LinkedIn and humanize the content a bit more, show more of the brand. So TikTok is shaping other social media platforms, but it's also the course that is becoming more and more popular. So I'm being asked to do more of these workshops. I'll be going to different parts of the country to talk about TikTok. And that seems to be the platform that people are still very in the dark about. So I really want to just try and shed some light on that and help people to feel more confident.
It's really changed since when TikTok first started as a, I don't know, I don't know how I would round TikTok off as a, when I first went on it, it was like Vine. It was like quick videos, very, very quick videos. And now there's more long form podcast, all that sort of stuff that goes on there. But it all, I don't know, it's just, like you said, it's shaped everything. Like Instagram's changing the way that they do things. LinkedIn are starting to change the way that they do things in terms of portrait videos and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, like, have you seen a massive difference then from when you first started doing TikTok business to TikTok business now?
Yeah, I think when I first started speaking to businesses about TikTok for Business, I was kind of like, this is what it is. You need to sort of know what's going on in the periphery, but it might not be right for every business.
Yeah.
Whereas now the conversation has shifted, because I do think that TikTok was primarily an entertainment first platform previously. Whereas now we've got a rise of brands and businesses and influencers that are using it in a different way.
Most of the stuff is business brands now, and it, like, the odd thing would be come for a day. It's, I mean, obviously I'm a videographer, so it's a come look at me for a day in the life of a videographer, and I eat it up because it's just like, it's cool. It's just currently seeing that, but then underlying that, it's not saying we are a videographer or we are, a social media company. Come and work with us. It's saying, look at our day in the life. And then underlying that is the marketing by not saying what you do, but showing what you do, which then gains that interest, gains the popularity, sends it to other people's feeds. Yeah, there's it opens it's a snowball effect of marketing, really, isn't it?
And I did a TikTok for Business workshop over in Cheshire, and there was a group of diverse businesses there, different sizes, and a lady came up to me at the end and she said, that was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. She said, but we are a bigger firm. We are in construction. I think they had about 80 odd employees. And she's like, I just don't think that TikTok is right for us. And we're already doing, once a month, we have like wellness activities. Our team they'll do volunteering days, and we bring people in to do like different things, and we'll celebrate on a Friday. We'll bring like a fish and chip van round, and she was telling me all these amazing things. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so you're a fairly big business. I said, do you recruit any apprentices? And she was like, oh yeah, we've got a big apprenticeship scheme in the office. We really believe on bringing people through the business and helping young people to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, recruitment. I was like, everything that you're doing as a business, it may not necessarily get you more contracts with your perfect customer or help your business to grow in that way. But in terms of that recruitment and filtering process, people, if you open the door, they'll get to see what it's like to work with you. And these benefits that you're giving, I said, are amazing. You could do a day in the life as an apprentice, a day in the life of show what the progression looks like through the business. And then when people come to ask for a job from you, they can actually say, as a young person looking for their first job, I really want to work here because... And then you're not just like any other employer, and it means more and it feels different. And she was like, oh, I never thought of it for that. And I was like, once you shift it from being TikTok for business as a sales platform and think of it as maybe like a recruitment or a culture platform, then you're on there for a different reason. So you're going to create different content, but it does something for you that's less tangible than sales.
Yeah, but it also would work in that way as well. Like if I was, regardless of the size of a company or whatever, if you've got if you've got an online portfolio or an online profile that is good, positive things. Yeah. Like we only want to work with positive people, don't we? And good people. And I don't know, showing that online and having a bit of your own portfolio, whether it's on Instagram or whether it's on TikTok or whatever. I don't know. I think it's such a important thing for, like, even I know companies who will ask their employees to have their own personal brands on social media because of the power of it. Yeah. Really. As much as, people having their own TikToks and what have you, the big ones like estate agents and things, they've got their own platforms for that reason. So people already know them before they come to buy a house from them or something. They feel like they already know what's going on. But it's worked for me as well. And I'm sure it's worked for you in the past.
We've had that. Yeah, definitely. I think that, when we're doing recruitment, we've had people reach out to us. And one of the things that even a current member of our team said was, I was looking online, I knew I wanted to work in a marketing agency. I applied for a few different roles, but when I looked at you online, and she saw us on TikTok and Instagram, and she saw our website, she was like, I knew who you were, so I felt more comfortable reaching out to you, and I knew who I was getting a response from. Yeah. And I think that so many businesses have this wall around them, but like you say, it's like if you were even going to work alongside or become a client of that business, you kind of get a better sense of who they are. Video. Yeah.
So who's this for then? Who would you be looking to? Who's your target audience for this?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people could find it helpful, hopefully. Probably most suitable for startup businesses, people who are running their own business. Maybe they're on their own or they don't have a marketing team. It'll be for marketing execs, junior members of the team, students. And again, when through our recruitment experience, we may have had recent graduates come to us, want to work with us. And of course, we'll ask what kind of experience they've got or what courses they've done or what they're interested in. And I feel like if they'd have been a member of the Hive Academy and they graduated and done the full course, that shows real commitment, real willingness to learn. And that they'd have really good foundations and good practices in place. So I also see it as being students, but there will be a lot of the people that I already train as those startup businesses that just want that helping hand to get going.
So talk to us then about the Hive Academy and how it works. So obviously it's an investment in people's time as well. So run through a little bit more about the Hive Academy and how many modules there are going to be, because obviously you want people who are interested to go for the full thing. It's not a sign up and try one and what have you. They're going to get the most benefit of doing it, of really putting the time into it. But it is an investment at the end of the day, whether it's time, whether it's money or anything like that. It is an investment, but it'll be worth it. So talk to us about how that process works then.
Yeah, sure. So you would sign up, and at the moment, we're going to have TikTok for Business on there. There will be more courses in the future. But like we say, it's 20 modules long, and we've broken that down really into 4 sections. So the first 5 workshops are all about the foundations and getting set up. The very first module is an introduction into what it looks like. So you can work through we recommend working through the full modules in a linear order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, working through it in that way. You can dip in and out, but the way that we've actually written the workshops is so that say in one of the courses we will talk about, in one of the modules we would talk about being set up and just checking your analytics as you start going. Then there's a further module about analytics and understanding it. So we kind of double down on what we've learned so that it becomes good practice. So we don't kind of do one thing and move on, never mention it again. And it's kind of almost like breadcrumbs. So even in module 3, there's a link to something which is in module 17. So it kind of, you'll get more out of it by working through it in sequence. Yeah. And the idea is you become more and more confident as you go through. At the end of each module, there's a little challenge. So we're doing something practical as well. And then hopefully your skill and your understanding will be growing at the same time as you're working through. But of course, for as long as you remember, you can go back and you can rewatch any of these modules. So if you're not quite sure, or if you kind of think, I think actually we covered that a bit earlier on, but I've forgotten now what you said about using trending audio, for example, you can go back and have a look.
How have you found, this is a bit of a rogue question, so how have you found, like we said before, doing the workshops and stuff is your bread and butter, like you love, that's like something that you love to do. How have you found the transition of doing a workshop to putting that workshop online?
Yeah. Do you know what? I find it quite interesting. So as a person, I think part of my delivery style, if I'm doing a workshop, I take questions, I want interaction, I kind of go off course sometimes, I'll make little anecdotes, I'll do silly dances in my workshops. So I'm a little bit kind of like that. And I found I laugh at myself because recording these sessions, it'll be just me and a screen and I'm making little jokes and nobody's listening. Nobody's laughing.
Have you got your husband behind, like, laugh? Like, cue the laughter.
Yeah, I'll have like these little moments where I'm like, if that's your kind of thing. And I'm thinking I'm talking to nobody. But that's really important to me because that's what I get the feedback on. It's the fact that the way that I deliver the information, the style, the content, the information, it makes people feel like they can ask questions and that, I'll explain it in a way that makes sense. So I couldn't do that without saying these random things. And of course, I'm not a robot. So these things that I may trip up over, not quite get my words right, I'm not editing those bits out because that's what it is. That's real life. I mean, this conversation, I'm sure these things.
I don't know. I think that it's the energy that you would bring to a workshop. It's important to do that because we've all been on modules where the content isn't there, but then you are speaking to a robot. You're just speaking to someone who says,
slide,
"Hi,
please.
Welcome to module 1. We are doing TikTok today," and it's just like, and you you just switch off. So it's important to get that energy in there, definitely. So where's the progression of the Hive Academy? So first of all, you're doing TikTok for business.
Yeah.
Where do you see that progression in the next couple of years?
We're going to keep adding. We're going to keep adding workshops, and we're going to keep growing the academy. And I think this is where hopefully our members will become really important in this as well, in terms of shaping the direction of what we do. So I hope to run some live Q&A sessions for our members through the platform. So there might be things that are supported by social media but slightly outside of it, and then we can get experts in to come and basically have a chat, and then maybe video feel more accessible, or generating content for your website more accessible. So really giving a lot of value. We're going to be building, so because I run a lot of workshops of different courses, different titles, we're going to bring some of that online as well. So in the 20 modules that we've got for TikTok for business, every module is about 30 to 40 minutes long. So they're really bite-sized, something that hopefully you can just make part of in your everyday. And then for the other workshops, there might be an hour, there might be 90 minutes long, but we will do a subject like how to repurpose your social media content, or how to blend online and offline content to make more, and to try and give people little things to keep fueling that energy that they need to bring to their socials as well.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, the Hive Academy, I think it's important as well that the more that you do the live sessions and things, is there going to be a community sort of feel to it, So, I think what's important is that all the people who are going to sign up to the Hive Academy, they're all in similar positions. They're all, they're all either wanting to learn more about TikTok, so they're all going to be in the same boat. Is there going to be a community of people that they have access to them, to each other, and I mean, I don't know what the plans are for the next couple of years, but is that something that's in the pipeline?
Yeah, and I think that community and collaboration is what builds a business. This is what it's all about. So we want that to be a space where anyone can ask a question to the community, and in that it could be, I'm really struggling with this thing, or I've run out of ideas, can anybody help me? We want the other members to contribute to that and to share and shape, because I think that having an online space is really good for that positivity, but also there could be relationships that are formed off the back of that. I mean, if there are going to be marketers or creatives that are in this space, then they could align very well. If it's a business owner, they could be looking for something that somebody else could help them with, and that's something that we really want to use, and we want people to feel supported and to have like trusted people in their corner that can be helping them along the way.
I mean, positivity breeds positivity, doesn't it? If you've got that community of people that are putting wins on there, that are, I started my TikTok business profile, and in 2 weeks, we've got, a couple of hundred followers, and we've got a couple of thousand likes on the content that we're doing, and it's engaging. Positivity breeds positivity. Yeah. Everyone can celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
And it just fuels the fire for yourself. I mean, social media is a fantastic tool to be doing that. Especially in my field, there's a lot of videographers out there, and for me at the start it was very much like you'd see someone else's work and you go, oh, I'm not that good, and it can have a certain effect.
Yeah.
But if you're all fighting for the same thing, if you all go in the same direction, it's only fuel for the fire for you to want to push forward, learn more, go on to the next module, so you're learning the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and after 20 modules, where are you going to be? You're going to be further, aren't you?
Well, you do it, and nothing stands still either. So, we're aware that things do change. I mean, this is one of the hardest things when you're creating content for social media, is that the platform will change, the algorithm will shift, what you can do, what you can't do, the ratios will change. So we're going to also make it so that we send monthly bulletins through to the group as well. So if things change, then you don't feel like you're being left behind, because obviously we're creating this content, which I believe is pretty evergreen. It's those foundations of skills and knowledge. But at some point, so TikTok now has a photo capability. So you can have a carousel of images on there, and you can use photos. Graphics can work quite well, long form video on TikTok. So there are things that are going to be introduced and changed. And we want to make it so, again, as a community, you don't feel like you're the last to know. So we're going to send monthly bulletins in there. And like you said, that might then also be so this is why that's been happening. And then other people will support that as well. So, yeah.
I think it's important because it just changes constantly. I mean, I'm speaking about LinkedIn specifically here, but I just feel like the algorithm is so difficult to follow. I've got about 11,000 connections or something. And on my posts and stuff, you get 500-600 impressions of people that see it, and it's like it's a different thing, because I don't really know about it. I just kind of post. I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of post and see what happens with it. But if there's dedicated modules there that can help you with this stuff, because it's all consistency, and there's a path to it. We're not saying that the Hive Academy is going to be, do you want to be famous? Join the Hive Academy and make your content viral.
Woo!
Because everyone will do it.
Everybody wants that.
What it is just, it's helping you with the consistency. It's helping you with content ideas. It's helping you with everything. Because what people think is not interesting, like you were saying before about the construction company, they do all this amazing stuff, and they'll go, I don't know what to post. That.
I know,
literally that.
Yeah.
Because to you may think, oh, it's not that interesting, but to someone it is.
Yeah.
To someone it is, or educational educational videos as well that teach you about the sector or the industry that you're in, that's so valuable. It's giving someone something without wanting anything in return builds the trust, which then builds the following and builds the people looking at your content.
Totally. And I think, like you say, like some people will be sat there thinking, well, I see creators that do this. Like everybody's already done it. They're already saying it. They do it really well. They've already, got success. They're viral. They've built their accounts. And I'm like, this is where, again, through the courses, we're like, nobody yet has heard from you. People are interested in you. Anyone can find the answers to anything online these days. You can take yourself off and you can Google it. You can ask ChatGPT. You can do what you like. But the people who are going to find and follow you will want to know what you have to say, and you will deliver it in a way that lands with them. And you never know when someone's going to see that for the first time, when someone's going to need to hear that today. So if we just let that hold us back, then we're never going to be moving forward. So I think, like you say, part of it is breaking it down in a way that just encourages people to flip the narrative a little bit and just think, actually, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to try. I'm going to give my tips and I'm going to give some insight because I do know what I'm talking about, and see what happens.
I was going to ask you how do people get involved and sign up and what have you? What would your message be to someone who is, sees this podcast and sees this video and goes, I'm interested, but I'm not sure. What would be your advice to them?
So we, at the moment, we're building a waiting list. So there is that. So people can sign up and be on the waiting list. But I am more than happy. I will always have a conversation with anybody. And I think that we can have that conversation and they can try the Hive Academy as well. So when we launch, we're going to have your first month 50% off as being a member. But I also appreciate that sometimes people just have questions and they'll want to know what it's going to be like. And I do believe that by opening the door, and if they can speak to other members and they can see what kind of activity is going on in there, it might just help them to overcome that barrier and know it's right for them. So we will definitely support people who are interested in that, answer any questions they've got, tell them more about it. There is no contract, so you can sign up, you can leave after a month, you can be with us for 2 years, you can do whatever you like, and essentially it's just like anything, you'll get out of it what you put into it. So
So how do people get involved then and sign up? Who should they get in contact with?
So you can go to Youbee Media. So it's all powered by Youbee Media and using our team skills and knowledge as well. So you can go to our website, www.youbeemedia.co.uk, and you'll find your way into the Hive Academy there. On that page on our website, there is also a contact form. So if you do want to speak to us, you can do. We are looking to launch this August. So we haven't got an official launch date yet because a couple of things we're waiting to line up in terms of tech. But the waiting list is there and it's growing. So we will let everybody on the waiting list be the first to know when it's good to go.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to say on the Hive Academy? Is there anything that we've missed? By the way, there you can cut this bit out. I'm more just thinking you can pop it in. And this is not. I realised I said it in a professional voice. Is there any other bits that you feel are important that I've not asked or you want to add in there?
I don't think so. No. I'm going to say because I could do like not necessarily a shameless plug, but also because we are still a marketing agency at the end of it. So if they need further support, then they can come to us and the things we can help them with. But I don't know if that's going to be important.
I mean, you can say it. You can I can ask you it, and then you can either choose to have it in or not, or just take it out, or.
Because I suppose then actually I could say you could book a one-to-one session with me or whatever, or we do consultancy. So maybe if someone completes the course and still need a little bit more help that maybe they won't get in the community, how can Youbee Media support it or something? Yeah,
so obviously if people sign up to the Hive Academy and they do the module and they're looking for that little extra support maybe, what can Youbee Media do to help them?
So that's where, again, it doesn't kind of start and finish with the Hive Academy. So it's fully supported by Youbee Media and our team. So if you find that there's something you need help with and you can't get that from the community, we are social media and marketing experts as well. So we offer as part of our packages, we can help people with consultancy. So we can help to keep people accountable, keep them on track, give them new ideas and support them on a bit more of a one-to-one level. We also do one-to-one training sessions. So if there's just something that you want us to sit with you and work through, we can do that. And we do also offer social media management. So TikTok may only be one part of people's marketing strategy or social media strategy. You've mentioned LinkedIn, and maybe it would be, okay, so I feel quite confident now doing TikTok, and that's really good for my business. What can we do in terms of the bigger marketing strategy, and how can Youbee Media help? And that's where we can maybe partner up and really make sure that they are embedding the skills that they've learned in the Hive Academy and growing their business as well.
Perfect. Thank you for coming in and talking to us about the Hive Academy. It's a very, very exciting thing that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing it grow and that community grow as well. So yeah, if you are interested in the Hive Academy, please give Rebecca a message. And yeah, thank you for coming in and talking to us about it.
Thank you for having me, Michael. It's been wonderful.